Okay, I think it's time. Let's get started. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Nice. So we have quite a lot of people. Okay, we have around 41. Okay, yesterday was around 100. What happened to others? Okay, it looks like okay, people are joining. Okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, so let's start the session. I think I don't have access to. Okay, I have access to recording. Let me start the recording. So before we start the recording, anybody wants to ask or discuss anything out of this bootcamp? Anybody wants to discuss anything? Okay, I take that as no. Then let me start the recording. Just give me a minute. Okay, so let me share my screen first. Okay, okay. My voice is little unclear. Is it fine now? I'm using no, open speaker. Let me see if I can connect my Bluetooth. Is it fine, Ramya, or like should I?
There is little noise in them.
Okay,
Other
one
than
second.
that, it will be okay.
One second. How?
No? Is it fine now?
Yes, yes, much better. Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, good. So, okay, people. So let me start the recording. Okay. So once again, thanks everyone for joining today. So this is a free Splunk SIEM admin bootcamp, day 2. So just to remind you, so yesterday we discussed about like what is cybersecurity and some introduction things and what is information technology, what is information data and everything. If you did not join the yesterday's session, you can please check out our YouTube channel. So we have uploaded our recording on our YouTube channel, like the recording of the previous session, like yesterday's session, the day 1 session, and today's session also will be recorded and uploaded to the same YouTube playlist. You can check out them. Okay. So for the people who already joined yesterday's session, so if you remember, we were discussing few questions, right? So there were few list of points which we asked you to go through. Did anyone get a chance to go through this list? Okay. If that's fine. Today we are going to discuss those topics. I mean, if anyone gone through yesterday's topics, please feel free to share your inputs. If not, I will go through from our own. Okay, I take that as no. Okay, the first thing is like when was the first website created and everything. So to understand when was the first website created, when was the first computer, network, internet. So all those things, let's understand some concepts related to the computer and network and internet, which will give you some basic guidelines so that you can understand why each of the device was created. Rather than understanding when it was created, we should understand why it was created. Because see, cybersecurity is all about protecting the digital assets, right? First of all, we need to know why that particular digital asset was created. So that is what we are going to discuss today. Can you imagine computer without a network or internet without a website? So have you faced these two scenarios in your real life? Have you ever used computer without a network or internet without a website? No? Okay. See, yeah, yes, without a net. So computer without an internet. So what is the purpose of computer? For computer, internet is not mandatory, right? Then what is the purpose of computer? Any idea? No? Okay. See, yeah, calculations. So calculations. So what kind of calculations? So in the calculator also to document things, okay, fine. But to calculate, we have a calculator, right? So why do we need to use the computer?
To save data in a hard disk and fast
Who's
access than calculator, faster scientific
okay?
calculations.
Yeah, yeah, perfect, perfect. See, just to understand, just to give you some high level things, right? First electronic computer was created around 1945. Why did they create a computer first of all? There must be some reason, right? Why did they create the computer? Maybe you can Google it. You can Google why the first computer was invented. What was the purpose? Who invented the first computer? You can Google that. And the first network was created around 1969. So for almost 24 years, they were using the computer without the internet or network. So for all these 24 years, they used computer only for calculations. Okay. After that, around 1983, the first internet was born. Okay. Only on 1983, the first internet was born. And the first website was created around 1991. So after 46 years of finding the computer, the first website was born. So website is not the first thing attackers or cyber, hackers will aim for. So website is the recent technology. So the computer network internet that was there around like more than 50 years. So that is where a lot of attacks happen. So rather than focusing on attacking a website, right, so a lot of places courses might teach you how to find vulnerabilities in the website, how to attack a website. Enough. Go back in time and understand how network and internet was born. What in every cybersecurity training, right? They will ask you to learn network devices and security devices. Nobody will ask you to learn how to create a website. No, website is one of the the information technology. Without even a website, you can share the information from one place to another place. So around 46 years, the people were sharing the information without a website. Okay, so now let's understand the evolution from the first computer till the website. How the evolution? Why did they even created this first of all? Okay, because when they were creating the first network, that is when the first attack happened. So around 1969, that was the time the first cyber attack happened. Okay, from that point onwards, the cyber security was born. Okay, so the first computer was invented for US military. Why did they invented the first computer? See, you see this machine, right? That artillery. You can see, think of like a cannon bolt, something like that, right? So if you want to fire this, artillery, you need to calculate distance, angle, wind speed, and gravity. Okay. If you want to calculate these things, if you want to calculate the angle at which you are going to aim this cannon, right? You need to perform a lot of calculation, which is manual calculation. It took a complete day. See, in army, right? This is around World War II. Around World War II, US military wanted to be speed, like wanted to have a speed in their calculation. So they invented a first computer, first electronic computer. This is the exact computer, the first electronic computer invented by the US military to calculate this distance. Okay. And this computer was assembled by 6 women. So these 6 women were employed to assemble this computer. After assembling, they realized nobody knew how to program. These 6 women are the first computer programmers. They self-taught themselves. They did this programming, the computer programming, to calculate this artillery distance and target. Okay, so these were the first. Actually, they assembled the machine, which is called the first electronic computer, and they programmed it as well. Okay, that was the first electronic computer. This was around World War II. So after this computer born, World War II also completed, and then US military, they were sitting idle and they were innovating things. Maybe you can, if you refer back to the history, right? US and Soviet Union, they were fighting each other. So they wanted to be better in their technology. So United States Defense Ministry of Defense, that was the older name. Now it is Department of War. So this department asked their university in the United States. We have different universities like UCLA and the SARA International and University of Santa Barbara and Kalahar School of Computing. So after this first electronic computer was born, right? Every university started adopting the computer because this computer is with the size of room. It is a very big computer. So normal people, normal like civilians cannot afford to create a big computer. So only universities had this computer on their own. Each one of the university had their own computer. So they used that computer to calculate research related data. PhD and all, they do a lot of calculation arithmetic, right? So they were using a lot of data. They were calculating a lot of data, and they wanted to share with each other. So one university and another university, like different universities have different data. So they want to share the data. So that was the main reason they connected all four computers. So these are the four computers first got connected. So this is the first network, computer network, which was formed. They wanted to share the information between each other. That was the main reason. So around 1969, they created the first network. First network consists of four computers connected to each other. You can Google what is the first network got created. Network means it's a group of computers connected together. In this context, I'm saying group of devices or group of computers connected together. They created a first network. They were able to send and receive the data. This was the first network, and this is where exactly the first attack happened. If you want, you can Google it. The first cyber attack, and you will get this story. Okay, I mean, you don't need to memorize this one. I'm just telling you like what happened in the past, so that you can understand why, as a cyber security engineer or SOC analyst or SIM admin, why you need to focus more on the network rather than understanding tools, rather than understanding hacking. Right? First, you need to know the network, because network and security devices, these two forms the base of your cyber security landscape. Okay, for that you need to know when was the first network was implemented and why it was implemented. The first network was implemented to share the information or data between the universities. Okay, SPL special OSI model. Yeah, OSI model will come later. Like here now we are not talking about OSI model, but OSI model came in the latest years. Now we are talking about 1969. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now after they created the first network, right? Everyone was happy. US, entire country was happy, and their army also happy. So now they want to go one step further. See, now only universities connected, right? Only four universities connected together. But like this university, there were research institutes, and there were army, computers, and there were schools, and different peoples have different networks. So this is one network, and you see, like this, they had a different networks. So they wanted. So this is one network, and this is another network, and we have another network, and we have another network. Okay, so everyone had their own network, right? But they felt like, okay, we need to share the data across the network. See, from the research organization to university, from the university to army, from army to schools. So different people wanted to share the information with each other. So that is when the first internet was born. Okay, what is the difference between network and internet? See, network means multiple devices connected together forms a network. Internet means multiple networks connected together called internet. So inter-network, that is the name. Inter-network, that is the full form. So internet is a shorter form. Okay. If you connect multiple network together, then you can call it as an internet. So that is when the first internet was born. So this is where first email also they were using. Email, right? See, before even before even they invented the first website, they were using emails to share the information. Email, electronic mail, right? Email was the first communication technology between the computers. Between one computer to another computer, they were using email to share the information. And one of the scientists came up with an idea called World Wide Web. So scientists got frustrated about sending email. He didn't like the email, like because email was one-way communication, right? You just send information and other party will receive it. Again, the other party has to send the data back. So it's a back and forth communication. And if you want to send an email, right? On the earlier days, they were using CLI, command line interface. Today, you just open a gmail.com or yahoo.com. You're just using a UI, right? Earlier days, they were using backend to send an email. So one of the scientists, you can just Google his name. I forgot his name. So this is the guy who invented the World Wide Web. This is how the first website looked like. You can also Google it now. World's first website. This is how it will look. This is still live. I can also show you world's first website. You see, this is what it is. This is the link. If you just open this, yeah. So this is the world's first website. The first ever website. It got created. Yeah, 10. Great, Rajesh. Yeah. So this is the website. You see, click on the browser. Here, no CSS, JavaScript, nothing. It's a pure HTML website. This is the world's first website. Okay. I'll just put the link here in the group. See here, nothing. No login, no username, password, nothing. This website was just a display. It was just a proof of concept. Okay. You can just click on something and you see, just like Reliance announcement, just the information side. So he just created this website so that he can share the information. You see, he just demoed the concept. You can click and you can browse like this. And that was the time people realized, okay, the internet is more than just sharing the information. It is also a way of representing some information. Like that is when the website started, getting popular. The Facebook, YouTube, Yahoo, all those, revolution started from this first website. He is the person who created the HTTP protocol. He is the first person who created the first browser as well. Because in order to view the website, you need a browser, right? He is the one who created everything. I think this man is still alive. I don't know if it is true. You can Google and you can check his name. And that was many people asked me, Murugan, I'm a non-IT guy. Can I learn IT? Can I get into IT? See, the IT revolution started with a non-IT guy only. This guy is a scientist. He was the one who created the first website. So if you're a non-IT person, don't worry. And you see these 6 women, they don't even know what is the computer. Nobody was there to teach them programming. So they self-taught them, and they were the first programmers. So don't worry if you're from non-IT. I'm also a mechanical engineer guy. Okay, so somehow I got into IT and fast forward to 7 years. Now I'm here. So if you're non-IT person, don't worry. Learning IT is not a problem. See, if you try to learn C++, Java, those heavy languages, right? Of course, good luck. That will take time. But there are a lot of other areas where you can learn and get into IT easily. So what we are discussing is the information technology, right? So there are a lot of information technology softwares or technologies using which you can survive in IT. So one of the technologies is Splunk. Okay, that is what we are teaching in this bootcamp. So don't worry if you're a non-IT person, just attend this bootcamp. So this will be enough for you to get into IT. But only thing is you need to learn the advanced level and you need to upskill day by day. Not just like this 5 days bootcamp is not enough to get into IT. This is the basis from which you need to go to the next level. Okay, we will also tell you what are the next topics you need to learn. First, let's understand that. Okay, now after creating the first website, right, from 1991, that is when each one of them created their own website. I will create my website and you create your website. So everyone started creating the website to share the information globally, right? So that is how one of the founder created a website, and they started including network devices and security devices. See, creating a website is not only the only thing which you need to create it in your company. You need to use a router, firewall, load balancer, all the other security devices. Question: yeah, website is there. Using website, I can share the information. What is the purpose of network devices and security devices? Network devices will help you to manage the entire network in your organization, because if you are creating a website, if the company is having thousands of clients or lakhs and lakhs of clients, you will get a lot of traffic. In order to handle the traffic, you need to have a network devices. In order to secure your company, you need to have a security devices. Yeah, I understand how it sounds. It's just a theory. Now let's take one scenario. Using that scenario, I will explain how a particular company is started adopting each and every network devices. Okay, I will take one story from the beginning. I'll explain till the end. Each and every security devices, firewall, host firewall, router, switch, network, content, CDN, load balancer. Each and every device we'll discuss now. Before we discuss those devices, anybody has any questions or anybody wants to share anything? Okay, take the test now. I'll open my notepad. See, our team also asked the same question, and I asked the question to other, learners as well. Every company is having their security devices, network devices, right? First of all, why are they having so many security devices? So everybody knows Apple story or Facebook, Google, right? They started from their garage, right? Now they are like multi-billion-dollar companies. So earlier also, at the beginning days also, they were manufacturing something. They called us a company, and now they are like multi-billion-dollar. Now also they are called as a company. But in between, somewhere they started including router, switches, firewall, everything. Why did they adapted those devices? So let's take one scenario and we'll discuss. Okay. Okay, so 1991 was the first website, correct? And fast forward, let's say around 2020, okay, there was a founder named Murugan. Okay, so let me take my name only. Right? Okay, there is a founder named Murugan. He got one idea. Okay, one idea for data compression website. Okay, data compression website, data compressor. Maybe you can just say data compressor. What he thought is he is very good at Python. Okay, let's say this guy Murugan, founder, is very good at Python. Okay, so he built some Python code. Okay, he built some Python code which can compress your data from 1000 GB to 1 GB. So meaning 1000 time compression. Okay. So he found somehow, like it's just a fictional, right? Just a story. Just assume Murugan, this guy created one Python code which can compress your data 1000 times without compromising your quality. Okay. For this, it takes 10 minutes. So he created one software. Okay. Now he wants to create this as a company. Okay. Now this guy Murugan wants to form this as a company. He wants to make money. Right. At the end of the day, why everyone is running? We want to make money. So what he was thinking is, okay, I have this one software. So if I use this software, because many people want to compress the data. See, in your mobile phones, there will be too much of data which you don't want to delete it. You want to store it safely somewhere, but you cannot buy 1000 GB pen drive, 1 TB hard disk every time. You cannot do it. But if Murugan is giving you one solution that can compress your 1000 GB data into 1 GB without compromising your quality, you might pay. Let's say he's charging 100 rupees for this one, right? He's charging 100 rupees. So what you might say, hey, that is good, man, because I thought I need to buy a bigger hard disk, but you are telling me you are compressing all the data into 1 GB, which is just only 100 rupees. I can store this entire data in my mobile itself without even deleting. So people are happy. So what Murugan is doing is he is in his home. Okay, this is Murugan home. So he created this Python code in his laptop, right? This is his laptop. The Python code is running in his laptop, Python. And this guy is sitting in his home. Right? So this is the Python code. And their friends, like Murugan friends, they are around like 50 people. 50 people. They each one of them have their own data, like 2000 GB and 500 GB, and somebody had like 5000 GB. So they all want to compress the data, right? 1000 GB. They all heard like, okay, Murugan has some code. So let's go to Murugan and let's compress our data and let's use it. Let's store it safely. So everyone is coming and Murugan is just opening his laptop. Let's say one guy is coming and Murugan is opening his laptop. He's keeping data into his folder and he's executing Python, some Python script. and data is compressed, and now they are happy. So for this, he is charging 100 rupees, right? He's charging 100 rupees. So 50 people, 50 into 100, 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees he earned, right? So Murugan is earning 5,000 rupees per day. Okay, cool. He's happy. He found this one helpful, and he thought like, okay, why not improve this one? Because I'm getting 5,000 rupees. I just created one simple Python code. It is used for many people. So he started advertising it. Okay, he started advertising. Hey, excuse me. Okay, so he started doing poster. He started putting WhatsApp messages, and there are like around 500 people. Next day, on the next day, 500 people came. So everyone is having their own data. Everyone is standing in a queue outside of his home. Everyone is standing in a queue. They are saying like, Murugan, I want to compress my data. I want to compress my data. And Murugan got scared because 500 people, right? See, for every data compression, it takes 10 minutes, right? Every time for a single person, it takes 10 minutes. For 500 people, how much time it will take? One person, 10 minutes, because it's a queue, right? See, at a time, only one person can compress. At a time, what Murugan is saying, hey, I have only one laptop. I can compress only one data at a time. So one data will take 10 minutes. So the people are standing in a queue. They are standing in a queue. First person, it will take 10 minutes. Second person, 20 minutes. Like that, think about the 10th person. For 10th person, it will take around 1.5 hours. For 100th person, it will take 10 hours. 500 people standing in a queue. Do you think the business will grow? People will be frustrated and they will go. They will say, I don't even need this compression, I will leave. Because people don't want to wait in a queue, right? Even I don't wait in a queue and you don't wait in a queue. And Murugan is feeling, hey, yeah, yesterday I was able to make 5,000. But today even 500 people came. But only two people are standing in a line. Remaining 498 people left because they thought like, why should I wait this much time? So today he made only 200 rupees. Okay. Now, just think about, because he did not do anything. Just because of the business, just because of how he is running this business, it is making him vulnerable to the business laws. Okay. So now he's thinking, okay, so how can I make everyone use my laptop? Okay. So every time people are coming and they want to use their laptop. See, Murugan cannot give his laptop to everyone, right? So at a time, Murugan is having his personal, because this is personal laptop. This is personal laptop. He will only have, because he might have some other information. So he is thinking, okay, is there any way so that people can use this Python code without even using his laptop? Okay, without even Murugan providing them this laptop, these 500 people should have a way to use this Python code. Is there any way? In Murugan laptop, there is a Python code. Okay, 500 customers are there. They are ready to pay 100 rupees each. Right? So if this 500 people are giving 100 rupees, he will earn like around, how much it will earn? 5 lakhs, 50,000, right? 50,000 he will earn. But he is looking for help. Now we have around 50 people in this call, right? Can anyone suggest Murugan like what should we do? No suggestion. This is where the networking starts. Networking. So first network device will be used here. Okay. So now if you are the founder, what you will do? If what Murugan was thinking is, okay, so now I will create another, I will buy few more laptops. Okay. I'll buy few more laptops. I will hire few more people. Okay, what he's thinking, like he'll hire few more people. So at a time, he will deploy the Python code in all his laptops. Okay. So now, not only Murugan is doing this, along with Murugan, there are three more people. Okay. Three more people are doing it. Okay. So Morgan is also having a database. This is MySQL DB or MS SQL DB. MS SQL DB to store the client information, because every time people are coming, right, he need to keep a track who, because they are paying the money, right? Client is paying the money, so he need to keep a track. See, if there is a database separately installed. We have 4 different laptops. Okay, now if you want to connect all these 4 laptops to this database, how will you connect? Let's say in your home, you have 4 laptops, right? In your home, you have 4 laptops, and you need to connect all the 4 laptops to one database. How will you do? Have you ever tried this one? Or you can use ChatGPT. You can just ask ChatGPT. In your home, you have 4 different laptops. You need to connect 4 laptops to this one MySQL DB. This is also one of the laptop. Okay. So how will you connect?
IP address.
Yeah, no, I'm asking physically. Physically, how do you connect? See, I have 4 different laptops, right?
Okay.
So will you use any wire or how you will connect?
A LAN, through LAN.
LAN, LAN cable. Okay.
The
So
LAN.
LAN cable. Okay. So you will connect a LAN cable.
Go to hub.
Hub. What is hub? What is the purpose of hub?
Connecting devices.
Yes. So there is a USB hub you are talking about. USB hub,
Wire hub. Yeah,
wire hub.
I mean, before router, there was device, right? It is called
Yeah. So that device is called switch. Okay. Network switch. So
network
there is something
switch.
called network switch. Yeah. So there is a switch. So if you in your home, if you have multiple laptops, right? See, if you have only 2 laptops, if you want to connect 2 laptops, you can use a LAN cable. You can just use a LAN cable. People know LAN cable. What is LAN cable, right? Let me show you. LAN cable.
RJ45.
Yeah. LAN cable. Yeah. So this is the LAN cable. If you have 2 laptops in it,
RJ45, you mean?
yes, RJ45. This is the one.
Port is the RJ45.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the cable. So most of you might have used this port cable in your home or in your office. You might have used this port. So this is what LAN cable. Okay, local area network. So if you have 2 laptops, try connecting. If you have a personal laptop and your friend's laptop, buy this cable. This is around 150 rupees, 150 rupees. Like in your local shops, you might get it cheaper also. Buy this and connect both the laptops and Google it how to connect. But if you have more than 2 laptops, right? You need to use a network switch. So network switch will act as a bridge. It will connect all your devices and it will create a local area network. Okay. So this is what we call local area network. And we can also simply call LAN. Okay, if you want to create a network in your home with a bunch of laptops, you can use a network switch. So it will be around like we purchased one TP-Link switch. So it is something like this. So you can just, let me just Google it. Team, do you have that link? TP-Link network switch. Yeah, so this is the one. You can give it a try. So this switch is something what we have here. So using this switch, you can connect like 5 different devices into a single, switch, and it will form a network. Meaning, so now after connecting this switch, right, I can talk. I mean, this my laptops can talk to each other, and my laptop also can talk to this database. So basically, what Morgan did is he connected his multiple laptops and database, and he created one of the network. Okay, so we can say Morgan network. Okay, so he just creating his network so that he can connect this to outside world. Okay, see now there are like 500 people, as you already remember, right? There are 500 people waiting in a line. and they don't want to wait till the 500 people completed, right? Everyone wants to use the laptop at a time. Okay, everyone wants to use this service at a time because as a customer, we don't like to wait, right? So if there are 500 people, if they are waiting in a line, if I don't want them to wait in a line, I should do something. Okay, now let's understand the basics of resources. See, any laptop consists of CPU, memory disk, right? CPU, memory, disk. A computer's processing power or storage power is decided based on only these three, right? CPU, memory, disk. What is the CPU? What is the memory? What is the disk? CPU is a processing component. That is where all the information gets processed. Memory is a temporary place where the data gets stored. Disk is a permanent place where the data gets stored. If you're not clear, please feel free to Google and understand how CPU, memory, disk works on the data transfer. Okay. For example, Murugan's laptop. Okay, Murugan's laptop is having 8 CPU core and 16 GB RAM and 5 TB hard disk. Okay. So now this is the specification of his laptop. With this specification, Murugan can process one client data at a time. Okay, one client data at a time. Now he has 4 laptops, right? 4 laptops. Laptop number 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 4 laptops at a time. So maximum he can serve 4 clients at a time. But again, the problem is not solved. We have 500 clients. So Murugan is thinking, I want all my 500 clients to be clients data to be processed at a time. So what will you do? He has only 4 laptops and 1 database and 1 network switch. How can we make all 500 people connect to our network and process the data? Any idea? See, first of all, we were asked, okay, is this through internet? Okay, that is good. So now, rather than we ask all 500 people to visit our home, so Murugan is thinking, okay, why not host the website? Why not host the website on the internet and let everyone use the internet and everyone use the website at a time, right? So he is purchasing the internet connection. He is subscribing to the internet connection. And you know router, right? So we have a router, Wi-Fi router, Wi-Fi router. So this is what connects to this. 1 second, let me just remove this database a bit. My MS SQL DB. Well, this connected here, right? And Murugan purchased like this is the router because he took a Wi-Fi connection, right? Wi-Fi connection from ACT or Airtel, and he took the internet connection, and this is connected to the internet, right? So now people like customers who are online, right, from the internet, they can access through the internet, they can access the website. Okay, but again, this problem is not solved, right? See, every time they come here, so we have only 4 servers, right? We have only 4 servers. Only 4 clients can be served at a time. But what if there are 500 clients? The problem is not solved yet. I took the internet connection. Murugan took the internet connection and he hosted the website on the public. But again, at a time, only 4 clients can be served. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what should we do? What should we do to make all 500 clients data to be processed at a time? See, of course, we need to increase this hardware, right? See, with this hardware, only one client can be served. So if I increase the hardware, so I can do the multitasking, right? Multi-threading or multitasking, whatever you want, whatever you say. So what Morgan decided, okay, let me build an on-prem server in my home, in my home. So let me purchase a bigger server, which is 100 times bigger, not in terms of size, but in terms of processing capability. So if it says 8 CPU cores, 816 GB RAM, 5 TB hard disk, right? So instead of 8 CPU core, he is putting 800 CPU core and 1600 GBs of RAM and 500 TB of disk. Just a thought. How much price, I mean, how much he need to invest? Murugan, right? He's hosting on-prem server. How much it cost? Any approximate pricing? How much it will cost to set up this server? 800 CPU core and 1600 gigabytes of RAM and 500 TB of hard disk. What is the budget? You can ask ChatGPT because now Murugan is doing this one. You are the IT expert. You are suggesting him. He's asking, okay, I'm ready to invest money, but tell me how much. How much do you think it will cost to set up this server in his phone? If he set up this server, right, he can process around 100 clients at a time. 100 clients data at a time. Just a health check. People, is it making sense or is it too much confusing? First of all, am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So yeah, I mean, you can use ChatGPT and tell me like how much it will cost. Around $250K. How much it costs in Indian rupees? So this is how much it is. Around 2.3 crores, right? To set up one server. Is it viable? See, for 500 clients, how much he will earn? For 500 clients into 100 rupees, he is going to earn 50,000, right? 50,000 per day. Yeah, Sanjay Shankar, yes, correct. So in his phone, if he wants to set up one server means around 2 crores, right? 2 crore for one server, 2 crore rupees, INR, right? And to process 100 clients data at a time, he need to invest around 2 crores in his phone. So like that, he has to invest. See, we have around 500 clients, right? For 500 clients, he need to have 5 different servers, right? See, one server can process about up to 100 clients at a time, and then like that, 5 servers. Then he has to invest around 10 crores, right? Just to set up this infrastructure. You might think, hey, why is this guy teaching like how much cost and everything? Because we need to understand why hackers are attacking, right? See, hackers are not kids, right? Hackers have some purpose. Cyber attackers have some purpose. They won't attack my phone because there is nothing. Right? In my phone, there is nothing. Even if they attack, attackers also spend some time to steal some valuable information. Okay, where that valuable information will be residing? The valuable information will be residing on big companies and are on the places where the bigger investments are happening, where the money is playing, right? In your home laptop, there won't be anything unless you store password and everything, right? So that is why I'm telling you, see this much investment they are making, this will, disturb hackers' eyes and cyber, attackers' eyes. So that is when cyber attackers started coming. See, if you just have something in your laptop, if you just do some business, small business, they don't, either attackers won't care because even they attack you, there is no benefit they will get it. But let's say if a company is putting this much investment, around 10 crores only for servers, right? So what attackers might think, okay, they have this much bigger servers, meaning they are doing some bigger business. So if we do attack them, we might get something. We might be able to, threat them. We might be able to steal some valuable information, right? So that is the main motto of attackers, right? To steal some information or to reduce a reputation, right? So that is why I'm telling you how a startup founder is planning to adapt a security device. See, now when a founder is planning to purchase this much bigger servers, right? He might face cyber attacks. So he will understand, okay, if I'm going this much bigger, I need to secure my infrastructure. How should I secure? What should I secure? What are all the different problems I might face? So then only he will start in adopting firewall, router, switches, and everything. So here, using this story, we are trying to articulate what are all the areas, what are all the situation when the security device will be added to a particular company. Vijay, you have any question? Okay, thank you. Right. So now, as a founder, like he decided, okay, he need to add 5 servers. He need to install 5 servers worth of 10 crores, and he is connecting the same way. He is using switch, network switch. So he is using a network switch because here for database also he has one server. For database, he has one server. This is DB server, and this is server 1, and this is server 2, server 3, server 4, right? So now he wants to install a network switch, right? A network switch, something I showed you, right? So in those, he has a switch. So he connects all the servers to this switch, and then he takes the internet router. This is the router. This is in your home. This is a router, and he connects that router to the switch, right? And this router is connected to internet, right? Internet. Any questions on this, or is it clear, or is not clear? If it is making sense, please give me a thumbs up. If not, put it in the chat. Tell me which. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the thumbs up. Right. Right. So now Murugan created. Okay. Murugan created. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So Murugan created his own, a website, and he created the web server, and he added the switch, and he connected to the internet. Now clients, like 500 clients, very happy. Okay, 500 clients started using the data, started using this website. And the data, the each server is processing 100 clients, 100 clients, 100 clients, 100 clients, right? And of course he has one more server also. Let's think of like that. 100 clients. So this is the fifth server. So each server is processing up to 100 clients. So at a time, 500 clients are being served, right? Now, see, at a time, 500 clients are being served. So for each data processing, it takes 10 minutes. So within 10 minutes, all 500 clients data processing is done. Then for the remaining whole day, this complete server is sitting idle, right? See, now only he realized, okay, he need to market it. He need to advertise it to many people. So he is running digital marketing, like social media post, and YouTube channels. So he's basically doing a digital marketing, right? So this is when hackers are noticing, hey, there is a guy named Murugan. He is selling something. So he's telling he has a website, a data compressor. Looks like he can compress the data 1000 GB into 1 GB. So hackers are noticing, okay, there is something happening. And then they are also trying. Hacker is also becoming one of the customer, and he's trying. They feel the website is good. So he's making money, right? The Murugan is making money, 100 rupees per customer. So 500 customers means 500 into 1000, 100 means 50,000. And let's say if there are 5,000 customers, mean he's earning 5 lakh per month, per day, right? So Murugan is earning 5 lakh per day means hacker is thinking, okay, so this guy has a good money. Let's start the attack. Okay. So this is when the first attack they are trying. So what they are simply doing is, because they did not do any bigger attack, They are simply thinking, okay, there may not be any security measures because it's a startup, right? It's a startup. They might not focus on security. That is what every company is doing. Whenever they are building the company, they give a least preference to security measures. So because it's a too much thing. As a founder, what they will do, what they will think, okay, my product is working, I'm making money, I'm happy. So they will not focus on the security. So hackers realize that, hackers knows that, and they are trying to attack the system. Simply, they are starting with a brute force. Okay, brute force attack. What is a brute force attack? Can anyone explain what is brute force attack? Nobody
Trying to
knows.
log in with multiple, credentials
Continuous
account.
wrong passwords at attempts.
Yes. What is the goal of that one? Why hacker is doing a brute force attack?
To get login that on that application or device, something like that.
Okay, yeah. After getting, let's say he found one username and password. What he will do with that one?
He'll first of all log in that with that credentials and they change the password and he'll ask for ransomware.
Yes, yes. So actually, the brute force attack most of the time, either from the user side, from the admin side. See, now we have Murugan, right? Murugan, he is the one who is managing, right? Murugan, he is the admin for this one. Let's say this Murugan is not well versed with security measures. He simply kept root username root, password admin 123 for his backend. So each server, right? Server 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each server he kept backend access, SSH, right? You know what is SSH, right? SSH access. It is the backend remote access, right? Secure shell terminal access. So for this one, he kept root and admin 123 simply. So what this attacker is doing, so this guy, he tries to log in through our internet and he goes to our website, our backend, and here he is trying to connect via SSH. You might ask, how does this guy know the IP address? So this is where Murugan did a mistake. See, if you want to host a website, right, you cannot simply host a website using your laptop. You need to talk to your ISP, Internet Service Provider, like ACT and Airtel or Jio, right? So you need to talk to them. You need to get a static IP address. Static IP address for your router. Okay. Only then you can host your website. So now when Murugan is asking clients to use and login, right? So clients are using the IP address like 43.448.128.21.3000. So like this, they are using this IP address. As soon as our hacker see this IP address, he is trying the brute force with the SSH access. So he is trying with different password and he is trying to get into the backend of any one of the server so that he can manipulate the code. He can just change the code and he can manipulate it and then he can bring the service down. As you said, the moment Murugan realizes this one, this attacker can call Murugan and say like, hey, Murugan, I crashed your server. I locked your server. If you want this business to run, send me money. So this is what a basic attack, brute force attack happens, right? So now Murugan notices this one and what Murugan is doing, he is installing a host-based firewall. Host firewall. He just Googled something, he asked ChatGPT and it suggested host firewall. What is host firewall? Can anyone explain what is host firewall? First of all, what is firewall?
Firewall, it is a security purpose we have to use. It is a blocking the some threads.
Okay. Okay.
It is
So what does
it
it
is
block?
blocking from internal network to outside world.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Any other answers? What is host firewall? I'm dedicatedly asking. What is host firewall? Host-based firewall. Firewall setup done on the host. Yes. Actually, what is a firewall means? See, firewall, you can think of a wall. Okay. Think of a barrier. So which accepts which accepts or denies only a particular traffic. Let's say it can be port, it can be based on the IP address. So a firewall, yeah, which can be written rules to allow, yes. So firewall is a device or a firewall is a device or a software which allows or denies a traffic, network traffic based on the rules what you have written. Okay, a software application or a service installed on a single device. Yes, yes, yes. So basically, in our laptop itself, in our Windows laptop, we have Windows Defender, right? Windows Defender firewall. Yeah. So this is one of the host firewall. In the host itself, on the host itself, if you install any software and if you configure it, that is called host firewall. In Linux, right? Say if you go to the servers and all, so there will be Linux based firewalls. So let's say if you are going for RHEL server, RHEL Linux, right? RHEL. So there is a something called firewall CMD. Firewall CMD is a software firewall which can be installed on your Linux machine. Like how we have a Windows Defender firewall on our laptop, Windows laptop, right? Like that for Linux, we have different firewalls. So this is something installed on your host. Okay, that is what we call as a host-based firewall. So now after installing the host-based firewall, hackers cannot get into the system, even though they get into the our traffic internet, right? Hackers will not be able to access our machine because the host-based firewall is blocking the access traffic. Okay, I would suggest you to understand what is host-based firewall just by googling, and the remaining things we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so whatever we discussed so far, does it make sense? Because this is how we are going to cover remaining devices also. If you want to add anything, or if you want us to modify the way we are explaining, please let us know. Okay, thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, fine. So please go through the remaining materials also. I think if you go to the handout section, right? I think how many handouts are not added here. Maybe in the group we can post this handouts.
Yes, Murugan, it is actually in yesterday's recording, and
Okay, fine.
I'll upload it
Right.
in today's and hand over.
Right. So tomorrow we will continue the remaining security devices. So the aim of this session is to understand why each and every security device was added into the company. Then only we can monitor those devices. Without knowing that, even though you deploy Splunk and everything, it will be waste. Right. Okay. Tomorrow we'll cover the remaining security device network devices, and then we will go and implement a first project which takes the data from some of the network devices. Okay. Okay. Thanks, everyone, and have a good day. Before we close the call, anybody wants to ask or discuss anything, say anything?
Can we have the Splunk SIM access?
Splunk SIEM access, meaning?
Yeah, for practicing. I mean,
Yeah. So we will give you the link where you can rent your labs. Actually, there is no free access. So we will give you the link where you can rent your Splunk SIEM lab access. Okay.
so it will be how many days validity? You mean?
You can choose 3 days, 10 days, 50 days, depending on your requirement.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
It's a pay as you go, madam. Like in AWS, you create the service. How many hours you are using, you are going to pay, right? So it will be like that.
It will be VMs, right?
Virtual machines, yes, yes. I mean, when we explain the lab infrastructure, right, we will explain what is a lab and how best you can utilize. That time you will have a clarity. So now we are still focusing on only the concept. On the fourth day, you will have a lab access using based on the information what we provide. You can rent your lab, okay, or you can create your own lab in your AWS.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, people? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Murugan Ramani.
Sorry, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you for your giving this session.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Vijay. Have a good day.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Ram.